and welcome back to this channel. Thank you for joining me. This is part 2 of the no makeup videos. Basically, I thought the second one was going to be sort of me covering more of the argument from the makeup girlies, right? When I say it like this, it feels like there's such a huge division. But anyway, let me continue, right? But I felt like there's just a bit more flesh from the no makeup women that come online. And I wanted to explore that a bit more and hear their perspectives on their decisions. Listen, whether we like to admit it or not, in the day and age where beauty has always been a currency, but more so than ever in history, in the day and age where beauty has become a career, for some women, it is somewhat of a revolutionary stance to make decisions that are outside of the beauty norms. To say, listen, this is what is being considered as beautiful. I'm going to go in a different direction. It will raise some eyebrows, even from the same gender as you, even from women. Let's not even talk about the main side of this argument. But anyway, we're going to be taking a look rather at a few videos of women that have decided it's just not my thing. And as we are doing this, let's keep in mind that there are different reasons why women decide to forgo makeup. Some women will tell you, listen, I'm lazy. I am not doing this. Some women will tell you, this is my faith. Get used to it. Accept it. I have accepted it. You will do the same. Some women will tell you, so for some women, it's for religious reasons. For some women, it's a political stance. Do you know what I mean? There are different reasons, but we often just put on this blanket statement on women and their decisions to forgo makeup. So today we'll be taking a look at a few videos of women that explain their decision, right? It ends crazy. It ends with, and I think what highlighted or brought this conversation back into onto the discussion table is that lady the bride who went on TikTok and spoke about how she chose to not wear makeup on her wedding day. Bruh, when I tell you, the response was ridiculous. Homegirl ended up on CNN. Now tell me how a woman deciding not to wear makeup on her wedding day is news. That's the day and age that we are living in, which is why these discussions are very important to have. You may think that they are silly, you may think that they are frivolous, but if it is ending up on the news, we're gonna talk about it. Oh, we will chat about it. Anyway, we're gonna get into our first videos. I will keep coming and interjecting here and there just to give in my opinion. But yeah. Please do join into the conversations in the comments below. Let's engage. Let me know what your decision is. Let me know what has inspired you to take the decision that you have taken, whether to wear makeup or to not. I want to hear it all. All right, let's jump into the first video.
So I just saw this post that said, if you're a grown woman and you don't know how to do a soft look or beat, like, a glam, like makeup, that you need to grow up and you need to stop being a little boy. Oh, and at the end, she said, those that get it, get it. And something about being that girl. No, I don't get it. And I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one. Makeup is not a requirement for womanhood. Never has been, never will be. I don't wear makeup and I never have. It's never been my thing. I never desired makeup. I don't like it. That doesn't make me any less of a woman though. Like, you cannot buy femininity at Sephora or Ulta. It's who you are, how you carry yourself, the way you move, the way you show up in the world, the way you nurture. Like, let's be real. Some of us just don't care for makeup. Some don't have time. Some just don't know how. And some, me, just don't want to. I don't like the shit. But all of those are valid. Like, do you without putting somebody else down in the process. For the women who love to beat their face and slay every day, slay a look, a new look. I love that for you, sis. Do your thing, queen. Do you. That's you. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that you want to do. But if you feel like you need that, that's a conversation for another video. But let's not act like that's what determines who's grown and who's not. No. The real grown women do what they want, how they want, without tearing other women down in the process. Shout out to y'all. At the end of the day, I don't need makeup to complete my outfit. I don't need makeup to feel feminine. And if you do, girl, rock that shit. Confidence is a flex, but being a mean girl ain't. So whether you full glam, soft glam, no glam at all, keep doing you. And let's leave this whole you need makeup to be a woman narrative in the trash where it belongs. Because some of y'all been doing makeup and ain't cleaned up.
This might be a hot take, but I think the reason that people are so upset that bride wore no makeup to her wedding is because they didn't realize that was an option. And I mean that in two respects. First of all, you might have people who have already gotten married and spent an arm and a leg on their wedding makeup, and they're realizing they either could have gone without or done less. Secondly, and more importantly, there are people who didn't know that you could be so secure in yourself to not put anything on your face on one of the biggest days of your life. Most of the videos I've been seeing are people being upset at the mean girl behavior in the comments of all of the people saying that she should have worn makeup. And I don't understand why anyone is surprised, because women are mean. Besides my penciled in brows, this is my natural face. And this is my natural hair that I just took my cornrows out. And to be completely real with you, I would not walk down a wedding aisle with nothing on my face. I think and know that I'm beautiful, but I think I would want to put something on my face for a day like that. But I think it's really admirable that someone would be so secure in themselves and secure in the love that their future husband has for them and the friends and family and attendants have for them, that they could walk down an aisle themselves. But yeah, seriously, why are we surprised that people were triggered by someone's confidence? It's a tale as old as time.
If you haven't started wearing wigs or doing acrylic nails or doing lashes yet,
when you're not used to your natural face, you start to dislike it. In that video, she talked about how if you wear lashes, nails, lace fronts, all this other stuff, how you should take breaks, because a lot of times when you do take those breaks, you have to look at your natural face, and a lot of times we're not used to it and we tend to dislike it. And I completely agree. So I'm currently about to go through a lash break. I'm about to get my lashes removed. It's nothing necessarily wrong with them, but I've been doing lashes for months and I honestly don't remember what my natural lashes look like. And I remember, like, if I look at videos of my natural lashes, I'm like, oh my gosh, I look so tired, I look so drained, I just don't look pretty. Same thing with me now. I know this is the weave, but this is more of a natural style, a lot more natural than I'm used to. I am a lace front girly. I've been a lace front girly for a long time, and even when I got these braids, I was like, oh my gosh, I don't like how my face looks. My head is so big, like, but it's me, it's how I naturally look. But with these things, with such as weaves and such as lashes, we're able to make ourselves look a certain way, and it's okay to do that. I'm not trying to say get rid of the lashes completely, get rid of the nails, all the other stuff completely, but I do definitely recommend to take breaks, just so when you look like your natural self, when you are in your natural state, it's not a jump scare. Because for a lot of people, when they're completely natural for themselves, it's a jump scare because they're not used to that.
Not that you look like that little boy comment. I've heard that so often. Stop looking like a little boy. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. First of all, I didn't know that we look like little boys without makeup. Second of all, femininity, it shouldn't be a performance. As a woman, you have natural femininity that comes from within. That is just your natural aura. But I think in the age where femininity has become commodified, now we have to perform it. And through consumerism, buying stuff to put on our natural bodies in order to be more feminine. Anyway, as collab, as we would say in SA, I like the woman who speaks about when you wear makeup for too long and too often, you end up not liking your face, your natural face, your bare face. I think that's the one thing that for me, for anyone who wears makeup a lot on a daily basis, that is just a concern for me. And maybe you don't worry about it. You're like, why is that your business? But yeah, that's scary that you get to a point where you've worn makeup so much that you've forgotten what you look like, or you haven't forgotten what you look like. You know what you look like, but you do not like what you look like when makeup is off. That's sad. That's really sad. You will never, ever be able to convince me that that's the goal for us as women, right? Is that where we're going? Is that what we're working towards? There's no way. So even for the makeup girlies, every now and then, man, just take a break, take a breather, just enjoy your face as it is. But hey, it's up to you. Who am I, right? Let's keep going. Let's watch a few more videos.
Hi TikTok. Honestly, I might get hate for this video. But please just keep in mind, this is my personal thoughts, nothing against anyone. This is just the way I've thought, and I don't know, maybe it could help someone or just be thought-provoking. So I have only worn makeup a handful of times. Let's say about 10. And I want to talk about why I don't. For example, with this filter, I feel hot as shit. I feel hot as shit. And you know why? Because this is beauty standards. I could be on a fucking magazine cover and be walking on runways looking like this. And it's just heavy makeup, I think. Don't quote me on that. But when I see myself with that filter, it makes me feel like shit about my own face. The filter snaps off, I feel fucking ugly. So I genuinely cannot imagine wearing makeup every day, taking it off, and then seeing a less idealized version of yourself every day. Because I know, for me personally, I would get attached to this idealized image of myself that has makeup on and hate what I look like. But I like what I look like, and I feel confident and beautiful and okay without makeup, but I don't know if that is just because I haven't worn it. And obviously this isn't applicable to everyone, or maybe not anyone, but this is just me personally. I'm also lazy, so that's also why I don't know how to do makeup, and no one ever taught me, so who knows if someone had, maybe I'd be on a different fucking trajectory right now, and who knows. And I don't have any advice for people who already wear makeup if they are interested in what I'm saying. But all women are fucking beautiful, and I'm not saying you're not beautiful if you wear makeup. And I'm not saying makeup is necessarily a bad thing. Because if you feel good about yourself wearing it and it helps you, that's great. I just really hope that you don't get attached to this idealized image and it makes you hate or resent what you actually look like. So there you go. If you have questions for me, comment them. I don't want this video to be negative or hateful towards anyone, so keep that in mind. Thank you and have a great day.
I remember the days whenever I was in my early teens, 20s, in college, too afraid to leave the house without any type of makeup. And here I am, 34, bearing my bare face on the internet for all to see, possibly to critique, but don't. And that's when I knew that my confidence was like through the roof. Like I had finally reached a level of comfortability within myself to be able to do so. And I've worked so hard on my face to get it to this point, and it's not perfect. Like I got Birkin Chanel bags, super large pores, the size of like boulders, hyperpigmentations. It's not perfect, but it is mine, and I feel I am aging gracefully. And I know that aging is such a luxury, but I thank God every day for my mother passing these good genetics to where I get to hold on to youth a little bit longer, you know? But yeah, I think the material is there. I think it's there, and yeah.
Today was day 3 of wearing no makeup to work, and honestly, I am really liking it. I feel like I'm so used to wearing makeup all the time, like ever since high school, honestly. Just with acne and stuff, I've just always woken up and put makeup on to cover my face, no matter where I was going, because I was so self-conscious of my acne. And My acne has gotten clearer, obviously, but I still have it. Like, let me take the beauty filter off. So I've always had kind of just like textured skin. I don't actually get a lot of pimples per se. I get a lot of just buildup under my skin, and it's very uneven and red and just like patchy. And so you can even see it here. And I have a lot of freckles and stuff. And so I would always just cover my face. I was ashamed of my acne and stuff. But I have been trying to embrace that part of me a little bit more. And I find that when I take breaks from makeup, my skin actually reacts better. My skin breaks out a lot when I use makeup. So I'm trying to just feel more comfortable with my natural face, just like out in the open. And I think work is like that last place that I was still holding on to makeup for. And like, don't get me wrong, I like makeup. Like, I will still use makeup for like nights out, to, you know, but I want it to be more of like an exception, not like the rule per se. So yeah, work was like that place where I was feeling weird not wearing makeup, especially when you're wearing like a fancier outfit and you don't have makeup on sometimes. Like, and I think it's just more your mind adjusting, but it like looks out of place. So I have been makeup-less at work for like 3 days now, and it's just getting easier and easier. My acne did come back a little bit more. I'm getting my period soon, so like today was a little bit rougher because I do have a bit more acne than normal. But I feel like it's just like an initial thought, and then once I'm there, like, no one's looking at me. Like, no one cares. Literally no one cares. No one looks closer at your face than you do. So I don't know, if you're like, obviously if you like makeup and you like putting it on, it makes you feel more confident, like, you totally should. That's not what I'm saying. I just kind of like am liking this natural feel, especially for the summer, because like nothing is worse, honestly. Your acne face is better than like your makeup face when it's like sweating and like shiny and just looks like, I hate that. That looks so bad. So I am kind of liking this like transition for the summer. I think it's good. No one needs to see my like shiny makeup dripping face. So yeah, that is my little thought, but I'll keep this series up and let you guys know how I'm feeling.
I feel more comfortable, like, literally just being in my skin. When I put on makeup and stuff, like, I don't feel like I'm myself. Like, I feel ugly with makeup on.
Yeah. When I put on makeup, I'm like,
what? Who is this person?
Yeah.
That's how it really makes me feel. And I'm just not comfortable doing. I'm more comfortable just in my skin as I am. And I've gotten to a point of like really knowing who I am and what I want, what I desire, what I like. And that's like, I'm standing on that.
I just wanted to jump in here and say, for this the same way that women that don't wear makeup are being told that that decision must be based on their own personal feelings. It needs to be a personal decision and not a pick-me act and not a performance for the men that say, I like girls that are natural. I get it, but the same can be said for women that wear makeup. Make sure that your decision to wear makeup and enhance your beauty is based on your personal preferences and not a performance for the male gaze, right? The argument goes both ways, but there seems to be very positive rewards for women that have forgone or that have found a nice balance between the times that they wear makeup and the times that they don't wear makeup. And these are women that were previously heavily reliant on makeup, and the switch has enormously improved the quality of their lives. Maybe not their lives in general, but their overall self-perception or self-love. Is that the word I'm looking for? I'm not sure, but it seems to have a positive spin, right? Anyway, let's keep going.
I just saw this TikTok of a woman who was basically saying that she's not wearing makeup on her wedding day. And guys, she was literally about to walk down the aisle. Like, it was a 10-second cute little video, yeah? When I tell you, the comment section was so mad and angry at her. Like, they were all saying, oh, women that don't wear makeup always feel the need to announce it. Like, do you want a cookie? Yeah, we can tell you look a mess. Like, they were so angry. And I don't even think angry is the correct word. I think the correct word is resentment. And it was like a visceral resentment. And I think this is just one example of many that show like this cultural discomfort that people have towards women that make choices outside of established beauty norms. Because why are you so defensive about her choice to not wear makeup on her wedding day? And I think at least part of the answer towards this defensiveness lies in the way that beauty standards function. Like obviously they rely on our collective participation as women. So when we see a woman that opts out of said beauty standards, we have to question why we opt in. And I feel like that makes you question, is it a personal choice or is it social conditioning? And half the time it is social conditioning, or at least both. And guys, I say this as someone that like loves makeup. And I'm not gonna lie, I think in the past I definitely partook in this line of thinking where if a woman said, oh, I'm not wearing makeup or I'm not wearing X, Y, and Z, I don't know why I said Z, then I would think, oh, do they want a cookie? Like, do they think they're better than me? Blah, blah, blah. When in reality, their language half the time does not indicate any sort of like moral superiority, but we assign it to them because we're projecting our insecurities onto them. And I think this assumption that women that don't wear makeup are always secretly judging women that do wear makeup speaks to the fact that deep down inside, we know that our beauty routines are performances for society, at least to some level, yeah. And that's why it like triggers this discomfort when someone refuses to comply with these said beauty norms, because we see it as like an implicit critique of the ones that do comply. And maybe sometimes these women are implying some sort of moral superiority, but sometimes it's just a neutral fact, and that is okay. Just like the woman in the video that I referenced at the start, like all she said was that she's not wearing makeup on her wedding day. As she was about to walk down the aisle, like she was happy and cheery, like there was no sort of tone of moral superiority. But yeah, I feel like the reaction that she got shows that despite all the talk about choice, beauty standards remain a system of control, and one that punishes any sort of deviation, even if it's something as neutral as like not wearing makeup.
A Cinderella story? Oh my God. First of all, girl is gorgeous. But secondly, I could listen to this woman speak the whole day. Bars on bars on bars on bars. And not only because it's because I agree with her opinions, maybe a little bit, let's be honest, okay? But she's so articulate, and the way she puts everything, she explains it in a way that is just clear and lacks judgment, but holds you accountable in the same breath. Do you know what I mean? Am I the only one who's getting that? Anyway, I'm a nerd. Let's keep going.
So this has absolutely nothing to do with the Q&A that I've been doing, but I just wanted to share something with you, tribe, that last year, 2024, I did my makeup around February, as I normally would do, do like a little face beat for either a workshop, a speaking gig, or any type of work that I do have. I didn't like the makeup, as I actually normally don't like heavy makeup on me. It's not a political statement, and for people who love it, absolutely, and I think that it looks absolutely gorgeous on other women, I just don't like it on myself. So I always try to go for the minimal look, but even then I kind of always complain. So I did that, and oh my gosh, I just did not like it. And I was like, you know what, I'm actually just tired of always complaining about my makeup. Not always, but most of the time, right? And I thought, why am I spending so much money on something that I'm hardly ever truly satisfied about? So last year in February, like I said, it's not a political statement, and I absolutely love makeup. I wish I knew how to do it better. But I just took a stance and said, you know what? I talk about personal finance. Let me see how much money I can save and invest by not doing my makeup professionally. So that was last year, February, right? And every single time I've done a speaking gig, I've done, my work, the things that I do and that I do very well. I didn't do professional makeup. I do like a little blushing, I do like foundation. Like it's so basic. It's like super boring. But I was like, I'm not a bad looking woman, But besides that, it was truly saying, let me see. I'm always complaining, but let me see how much I actually can save or how much I can boost my investments by. It wasn't going to be hundreds of thousands, but definitely those thousands are going to make a difference. So I started doing that. Let me just say, the amount of money that I would have spent on makeup would have been more than what you put in your tax-free savings account. And for me, it was such a big lesson, not just in terms of what makes me happy, but in terms of our finances, that you can actually choose. You can actually choose the things that make you happy, things that make sense for you. And I think that's what personal finance is about. Doing things that make sense for you, that you are actually pleased about, not just because that's what everybody else kind of does. And like I said, I absolutely love it when people have proper, nice, flawless makeup on. But for me, it just wasn't working out. So what has been that thing for you that you just kind of stopped doing? For me, it has been doing professional makeup. I still love it. Oh, I'm lying. I actually did my makeup last year in October. So it was in February and October for my event. And the guy who did my makeup, it was so good. It was so good. It was so minimal. You know, I like the type of makeup where you can't even tell that it's there, but it's there, you know. So what's the thing that you've kind of given up? It doesn't fit who you are. It doesn't suit your goals anymore, or your personality or your character anymore. And you are 100% okay giving it up. That's part of personal finance. And that's what I love about money, that it's all about choices. It's all about what suits you and what doesn't suit you.
I don't know what's going on, but I have really stopped wearing makeup. I sound like such a pick me. I just don't wear makeup anymore. But like, seriously, what's happened? Because I just used to love wearing makeup and looking like a baddie, and now when I do my makeup, I'm like, ew, bitch, you look so fucking weird. How do I do my makeup to look like this, but just more attractive? Like, I don't want to look different. I want to look like this all the time, but just, you know, with clearer skin, less bags. I feel like I'm so used to doing my makeup and like transforming my face, like making my nose smaller, making my under eyes brighter, making my lips rounder. I don't want to change how I look. I want to look like this, but just better, not different. So I've just been doing no makeup and I've just been loving it, which is so fucking weird to say.
No one asked me for this information, but I feel the need to tell you that I just spent 2 hours getting ready for my get ready with me so I could come on camera looking so clean and snatched and natural to then put on makeup. All of this is fake. Like, all of this is fake. I do it because I know that the better I look, the more views I will get and the more credible I will seem due to, you know, the halo effect and just the way that people are. But don't ever think that even the biggest influencers just wake up the way that they look on their get readies with me. They've normally spent a bunch of time doing skincare. I use a new face to like make sure my face is snatched and not puffy. I did my eyebrows, I put these clips in my hair, I straightened this hair, and I made sure that my lace wasn't showing, all in service of looking effortless before I then put on a bunch of makeup while I'm about to tell you about my day. So just know that, like, if you don't look like your favorite influencer when they start their get ready with me, that's because they don't look like that either.
Kaylin Chapman walked down the aisle with no makeup on. It's a decision she says she went back and forth on for a while, but never really wore makeup in.
That was me. This has been such a wild experience. I'm so grateful for CNN for having me. I've seen a lot of comments of people like, why is this on the news? Girl, same. But I am extremely grateful for every opportunity. Just that simple video and decision has given me. It's been definitely a wild week. But thank you guys for all of your support and love and just everything that's come from this so far. I'm extremely grateful. I thank God for this opportunity. It's been amazing. And I just hope through all of this, I can continue to inspire you guys to be happy and comfortable in your skin and love yourself, because everyone deserves that. But go check out the interview on CNN.
And that last lady was the lady Carolyn Davis, if I'm not mistaken. That's the woman who made the news for simply choosing not to wear makeup. Okay, but we cannot have the conversation about makeup and not talk about the role that social media plays in it, right? And I think the second last video was a lady who is an influencer, beauty influencer, and she was explaining about how she just spent 2 hours prepping for her get ready with me shoot, right? And the idea is that you come online barefaced and then start applying your makeup. But she speaks about how she has to just apply a little something to make her face, you know, look nice enough to be on camera before she can even apply your makeup. Like she said, the reason why you don't look like your favorite influencer when you do your get ready with me or when you get out of bed and start applying your makeup is because they don't even look like that. Girl, they do not even look like that. They do the prep work before they come online. So let that help you in deciding whether what beauty standards you align yourself with, right? I mean, we often call women that come online or perform on stages, on world stages, whether they're speaking, whether they're what, we call them brave for not wearing makeup. Now, it's strange. Women shouldn't have to be called brave for showing up with their natural faces, right? Because beauty has become such a performance that you showing up in your natural state is seen as brave, whereas it should be something that is just normal, right? But that's the day and age that we're living in. And unfortunately, whether we like it or not, showing up in a certain way, beauty in this day and age is a currency, and it has rewards. It has rewards, but like anything that has rewards, it also comes at a price tag. And sometimes your self-confidence is the price tag that you pay for the beauty, the privileges that come with beauty. Let's have that conversation, right? These are the type of things that you need to allow yourself to think about when you make decisions about what you opt into and what you decide not to opt into. And let me tell you something. These trends happen because we buy in. If we were not buying into them, they wouldn't exist. But that's a completely different topic. Now, when it comes to the argument of makeup being optional and not being optional, for some women it's not. In the corporate world, in some cases it's and that shows you how tricky it is to just exist as a woman, right? In a corporate environment, where in any environment, sometimes when you wear makeup and you care about how you look, you can be seen as someone who's unserious and cares way too much about how you look. If you decide to forgo that and be a no makeup person, you are called, I don't know, you disheveled and not put together. So it's like, what am I supposed to do? How do I win this game? You don't. You win this game by making choices and decisions that work for you. Femininity is not a performance. Beauty shouldn't be a performance. It is who you are. Beauty shouldn't exist outside of yourself. It shouldn't be something that you import from somewhere, whether be it a brush or a cup, in order for you to feel it. It is important for you to feel it regardless of what is said to you about you. Anyway, that is my little stake. I'll probably be back more with another part of this, or it'll be part 3. I think this should be a series. There's just so many discussions to be had around that. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, like, share, subscribe. We are trying to build a community over here, so come along with me. Let's make this fun. Wouldn't it be great one day when I hit 100K and you're like, I was there. I was one of the few. I'm excited for my journey. Thank you for joining me. Please, let's keep the conversation going in the comments below. Let me know what you think. I will engage. It is a serious topic, but I also think we need to see the lighter side of it, or else we'll just be scratching each other's eyes off. Anyway, see you on the next one, which should be very, very soon. Be well.